Dobar dan, prijatelji. Did you know that there is a way to support the Let's Learn Croatian podcast and YouTube channel and get extra content? Tony D, how can they find it and gain access?
It's super easy. There's a couple of ways. If they go to our website, www.letslearncroatian.com, they will see a Buy the LLC a Coffee button at the bottom of each page. They can also find it in our link tree from the LLC Pod Instagram page, and it's also linked in the show notes of each of our YouTube video lessons. Once they get there, they can choose to buy us as many coffees as they want, or they can opt in to become an LLC member.
Odlično, Tony D. Absolutely. For $5 a month, you can become a Kikiriki member. As a member, you'll receive a shout out on the pod thanking you for all to hear. And in the mail, we'll send you a handwritten letter from yours truly, thanking you, supporting all things LLC, an official LLC member magnet, an LLC sticker, and automatic entry into each LLC raffle that we do for as long as you remember. And for $10 a month, you can become a Smokeful member and get everything I just mentioned and so much more. DJ Mo, what kind of content do we have available?
Lots! With the Smokeful membership, you unlock a quiz for almost every lesson we've made. We have over 90 lessons from our podcast, and our goal is to have a quiz for every one of them. There's also all the songs and lyrics, so you too can sing along with us and learn the Hrvatski language in a whole new way. We also have the audio from our dialogues and their written parts, so you can follow along with a few of our native-speaking friends of the pod, as well as the full Priče with Beppo audio and transcripts. And lastly, our version of a Croatian phrase pocket guide to help jumpstart your language journey and have you start communicating sooner.
Puno hvala for taking time to listen to our podcast and watching our YouTube videos. We try to share as much Croatian language, culture, and travel content as we can. We hope you find our non-scholastic, conversational Croatian language approach helpful and are able to support our efforts. Puno hvala I čuvaj se.
3, 4, sad.
Okay, everyone, let's get moving on. Let's get rolling on to a super important, little more grammatically focused lesson today. Kind of some tough topics, but we'll get through it one word at a time. So here we go. We're going to learn 2 possessive adjectives. Hey guys, what's a possessive adjective? Hey, I don't know either. A possessive adjective is my and yours. So that's what we're going to learn today. Obviously, you can say my book, right? So my is the adjective part. You have my book, you have your book. There's our book, there's her book, there's his book, there's their book. But for our lesson today, we're going to learn my and your, right? So my and your. My friend, your house. There you go, right? So those are the words we're learning. So let's start with that. So the word for my, the root of it is moje. Tony D, moje.
Moje.
Right, moje.
Moje.
Bravo. So here's where things get kind of complicated.
Yay.
The way you make this work is you need to know the gender of the word you're describing, right? So English, we get to cheat. It's my book, my chair, my table, my laptop, my headphones. There is no ending. So, because English words don't have a gender. In Croatian, in Spanish, in almost every other language, a lot of other languages, they have a gender, right? So an easy way to remember is a masculine noun. Give me an example of a masculine noun, Tony.
Like Dobro?
Dobro is an adjective.
I know, but
Dobro jutro. Ja sam dobro is you're saying I'm a certain way, right? Yeah. So for simple, very, very simple, masculine noun is father, right? Okay. Masculine is a man is obviously a masculine noun, right? So otac, right? Otac is your father. So you would say moj otac.
Moj otac.
Right? Moj otac.
My dad.
So the masculine version of mine is moj.
Moj.
Moj otac. What else? Moj brat.
My brother.
Yeah, right? So masculine, very easy to know. If you have a masculine human, it's very easy to know, right? You have your brother, your dad, Moj djed, you have your grandfather, right? Very easy to know. Once you start getting into chair and table and car, things get kind of complicated.
Inanimate
right.
objects and such.
So a nice way to understand for the next one, we have the feminine way. We have moja.
Moja.
Right, so on the end of that word, we have a, right? The roots in there, moj, we add the a as moja. So moja sestra, my sister.
Mama.
Moja mama.
Baba.
Moja baba. What's another noun that ends with a?
Noun.
Kucha.
Kucha. Okay.
So moja kucha. Right, so nouns that end with a are feminine.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. I understand that.
Moja jabuka. Moja kruška. Moja smokva. See how all feminine nouns end with a. There's some other rules in there, but that's a very, very simple one. Moja sestra, moja učiteljica, right?
Teacher.
So you can be a male saying moja, right? The word you're describing is the adjective. So moj masculine, moja is feminine.
So it only applies to the word that comes with it.
Right.
Essentially.
So an adjective is a word that describes a noun. And a noun is person, place, or thing, right? So moja kucha, my house.
So then that makes a lot of sense, because then it's not necessarily explaining yourself as mine. It's explaining the noun that you're using.
Exactly. So an adjective is a describer word for a noun. So describing a person, place, or thing. So
Cool.
you're giving your noun a gender, and you're also, so you could say moja mala kucha, my small house, right? So you can start adding big ones as long as your gender is correct all the way through. So you can't say moj mali kucha. Then you have a male, plural, feminine. Yeah, so you have to make sure your gender is consistent all the way through.
Okay.
So now, but we're learning possessive. So mine and yours is I possess my house, right?
Yeah.
So moja kucha, I possess that. Moja plava kucha, my blue house, right? So you wouldn't say moja plava sestra, my blue sister, but you could.
If she was blue. If she was all blue, then there you go.
If she was blue, right?
If I dyed her blue with...
Okay, so here's good 3 examples. The word for morning, afternoon, and evening. The word for morning is what?
Jutro.
Right. So we say dobro jutro.
Dobro jutro. So that
Right.
would be masculine.
That's actually neuter,
Oh.
which is the next one.
Hey.
Yeah. So the word for what's that? Moje.
Moje.
So masculine is moje, feminine is moja, neuter is moje.
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 Right. So another neuter noun is diete. Diete, I'm not sure if we've learned before, is the word for child.
Diete.
So it's a child, but you don't know the sex of the child, right? You don't know if it's a boy or a girl. So you say moje diete.
What about automobile? There's no sex there, so is it moje automobile?
Well, that's where if you hear it over time, you're gonna start to pick up what the
What's the common
what's
vernacular?
what's the gender. That's why kids pick it up so much, just from hearing it. Us as older, we have to be like, okay, what are my list of masculine words? What are my list of feminine nouns? What are my list of neuter nouns? So if you've got a on the end of it, you're feminine. That's an easy cheat. So noun masculine versus neuter, where things can get kind of complicated, right? So diete has an e on the end. It's a vowel, but it's not an a. Yeah. So for automobile, that is a masculine word. So it's moj automobile.
Okay.
So going back to neuter, we have moje. So it's moje diete.
So would mobitel fall in that too, because it ends with L?
Yes.
Okay.
Moje mobitel.
Moje mobitel.
Moje.
Moje mobitel.
Moje mobitel.
Masculine.
Right, masculine. So if a noun ends in o, general rule, it's neuter. So we have jutro.
Yeah.
Jutro ends in L, so you would say moje jutro. Like, don't ruin my morning by waking me up early, or whatever, right? So it's my morning. So here, that's a good cheat in English. My. Right? No big deal. So only in for us in Croatian, you have to describe it. So we got masculine, moj, feminine, moja, neuter, moje. There's one more, plural, right? So plural is moje,
Moje.
right? So we've got 4 of the vowels. Thank God we're not going to do a 5th one. So plural is moje, right? So moje jabuke. So plural, my apples.
Moje
So-
jabuke.
Singular, you'd be moja jabuka, my 1 apple. Moje jabuke, my 2 or more apples.
Moje jabuke.
Yeah. So guess what it is for kikiriki.
Moje yaye, right?
Moje.
Moje.
Moje yaya.
Yaya. Multiple eggs, right?
Yeah. Moje yaya would be 1, right? My egg.
Yeah, tvoja,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moje yaya. So it's a noun that ends with E or O, but not A.
What?
Yeah. rules, right?
That's a lot of processing. I feel like if I'm processing this in front of somebody, they're just gonna walk away. They're just like,
There's a good chance that'll happen
Like-
anyway. That's funny.
did you break? Like you're frozen in time.
So this is
Thinking
kind of
about
one
it.
of those things where learning it is so hard, where if you're a new learner or a new speaker, people that hear you will know right away as like, oh, this guy's learning this language recently, because they're going to make that mistake. You're not going to be congruous. You're going to have a male adjective with a female noun, and that's going to kind of go wrong. So it's difficult in Croatian, like versus in Spanish, it's easier. Or if it's A, it's feminine. If it's not, it's masculine. Right? Right. Okay. So we've learned my, right? Moj prijatelj.
No.
Moja
My friend.
prijateljica. My female friend. So how about let's learn yours.
yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Let's learn yours. So moje is mine. That's the root. For the root for yours is tvoj.
Tvoj.
What?
TV.
Tvoy.
You're right.
TVOY.
TVOJ.
Sorry.
It looks like the word toy. I see Tony's ears
Right?
perked up
I
big
was like,
time.
Oh, we're talking about toys? All right.
Like tvoj.
My toy.
Your toy.
Toys. Tvoj. So same rule applies. Masculine. Tvoj prijatelj. Your male friend.
Tvoj prijatelj.
How would you say your house?
Tvoj house.
Kucha.
Kucha.
So would it be tvoj?
No.
Tvoja.
Yeah.
Ah,
Hey.
Tvoja kucha. Bravo. Right?
So you have to add the A because it's feminine.
Right. So now we're getting in the times of we have to make sure that we line things up. Okay. I'm going to give you another a trick one. How about, so tvoj prijatelj is a male. Tvoja kucha. How about, how would you say your street? Ulica. What would you say for street? Ulica.
That would be tvoja because there's an A at the end.
Bravo. Tvoja ulica. Okay. Now, let's just, since neuter for mine is moja, neuter for yours would be?
Oh, with the E.
Yeah,
Tvoje.
tvoja, right? So tvoj, tvoja, tvoje, tvoji. Right?
Tvoji.
Male, female, neuter, plural. Plural, we mean more than one. Right?
Correct.
So tvoje. So a neuter word, susjedstvo. You remember that one? Neighborhood. So tvoje susjedstvo is your neighborhood.
Tvoje susjedstvo.
Ends in O, right?
Oh, so it's
Susjed.
tvoje.
Susjed ends in a consonant. It'd be moj susjed. But moje susjedstvo, right? Because its neuter is ending in O.
Jeez.
Rules, right? Really fun stuff here. The last one is plural. Tvoji.
Tvoji.
Okay. What's a good plural word? Okay. Tvoji pingvini.
Oh, multiple
Penguins, right? Pingvin is
Tvoji.
one. Pingvin is two. Or more.
Tvoje pingvini.
Right. Tvoje pingvini. Tvoji.
Tvoje pingvini. Sounds like a pasta. I'll take
That's a great
that.
idea. Pingvin pasta? Pingvini.
No.
Tvoje pingvini.
Look at the bow ties. The penguin. Yeah,
Yes.
Pasta.
The tuxedo guys? The
Yeah, yeah.
suits?
I'm just saying.
Yes, right. So complicated, but key thing to learn is that root. Moj, mine, tvoj, yours.
Yeah, I think as you become more comfortable with the nouns or just being able to see what it ends in, whether it's masculine or feminine, and then you're able to apply the correct. I mean, I'll probably have to walk around with this on a piece of paper for a little bit, but you know.
Yeah. So, but at least that you know that someone is saying moj smieshan prijatelj, my funny
Smart. Oh,
friend.
funny.
Yeah, right. Moj pametan
Pametan.
prijatelj. So I don't see any two pametan prijateljs here.
Whatever.
Burn. Anyway, but those are the roots. Important. The having the genders line up will take time and practice.
Mm-hmm.
But
So it'd almost be helpful if you had the translations page open and you knew what you wanted to say, and then you kind of attach the correct, I guess, ownership word
Right.
to the correct a-o or neuter verb.
right. So what we can do as an exercise, we will do at some point in time, is build adjectives to describe one word. So we can say a couple lessons ago we learned the emotions, right? So now we learned the possessive. So you can say my sad apple, moja tužna jabuka.
Yeah.
Silly, but your gender is going to be correct.
And you're
Yeah.
lining up properly,
Right.
you know.
A little more fun when it's silly things, I think.
Right. Tvoja nervožna smokva. Your nervous fig. Right?
It's the correct sense, though.
Yes. It's correct case. Correct
It's pretty cool.
correct adjectives.
Yeah.
Complicated, guys, but important stuff to learn, because you will hear moj and tvoj. That's my pillow. Kids know this one.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My toy. Or
Moja
toy.
jabuka. Yeah. Tvoj toy. Tvoje toy. Right? So there you go.
Mine.
Thanks, guys, for powering through that. That's a tough one.
Don't forget to hit subscribe and smash that like button.